God, look at all this shit. Look at all this goddamn garbage. Just for one day, where we're all evaluated on how much we know about some meaningless information that we've somehow pushed into our heads since the beginning of even having a consciousness. Hi. I really shouldn't be making this video at all. Tomorrow, less than 20 hours from now, I will be taking one of the biggest exams, well, probably the biggest exam in Korea. I will be taking the college entry exam for the second time. I am not as nervous as I was last year. I think last year I didn't really study that much. My mind really wasn't into it. But this year, I was able to force myself to get into that little box and major up my depression, but sacrificing my sanity for better grades. And I think, for some reason, I think I'm going to ace this one. Maybe. Hope so. I will be making a follow-up video, so I might be totally wrong. And I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now. You know, Stan Lee died, which is really sad. Really, really sad. Definitely one of the main figures who sort of, built up, who sort of constructed my childhood and the pop culture that I consume. Then there's that Detective Pikachu trailer that it's interesting, to say the least. And as a fan of Pokemon, and not just the anime and the games, but also on a competitive level, I'm glad that they're not just focusing on the first 151 Pokemon. They're I saw Greninja in the trailer, so clearly they're doing a lot of other generations as well. I'm not sure about Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. Now Deadpool as Pikachu, it feels weird. And then there's the Toy Story 4 teaser trailer, where the second one was honestly better, with Key and Peele. So I'm feeling a lot of things right now, but for some reason I'm not that nervous. This is a very weird moment for me. At least it's been the past week has been very weird, because throughout the year, while studying for this exam, my emotions just went through a goddamn roller coaster. One moment, I was fully energized, I was totally into it, and the next moment, I tried to kill myself, and it was not that happy for anybody who knows me in any way, shape, or form. Definitely not. I also did not have a good time at that as well. And right now, for some reason, I'm in that manic phase where I just don't feel sad. Usually when I'm really down and out, whenever somebody doesn't even reply back to my hellos or whatever, it just destroys my whole day. And I know it shouldn't, but logically speaking, I know it shouldn't, but it does affect me. 3 days ago, though, there's this guy I knew at the place that I was studying at, and I said hello. He just looked at me like this. He kind of gave me this glance, oh, this motherfucker glance, and then he just walked past me. And for a solid minute, I was like, fuck, I guess I am one of those assholes, huh? But then that minute passed, and I was like, no, fuck that, he's the asshole. I got an exam to study for, and for some reason I was just able to throw it away. That's how manic I am right now. And I feel strangely great. It might also be because I have been eating way too much chocolate in the last month or so just to stay awake and not drink any coffee, because it might destroy my sleep cycle, which is very important. Now, right now, the main thing that I'm really worried about is whether or not I'm going to take a shit before the test. Because here's the thing. Everybody has this thing that happens to them physically when they get really nervous. Some people stutter. Some people's palms get sweaty. I, for some reason, my bowels just go goddamn crazy, and I just need to take a dump. I just need to relieve myself. And for some reason, it always happens right after the exam starts. So last year, I successfully defecated right before I even went to the school that I was going to take the exam at. So this year, I'm trying to plan that as well. I did take shit this morning, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take a shit tomorrow morning, because I'm not sure how the digestion cycle works. I haven't studied that part. In science, I applied for earth science and chemistry. I did not apply for biology because I suck at biology. I tried last year. It was chemistry and biology for me. I got like one question wrong in chemistry and got like 4 questions wrong in biology, which means in Korean that I suck at biology. God, I don't know. A lot of people have been sending me like really nice things, nice wishes, best wishes and all that. They've been telling me that this time I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be able to break the wall and I'll be able to go to a college that I don't really want to go to anyways. They didn't say that, obviously. That's just how I hear it in my head. And they've been sending me a lot of stuff. Like I said, they've been sending me a lot of chocolate. They've been sending me a lot of cookies that are way too fucking dry. And they've been sending me a lot of like those mochi rice cakes that mostly a Japanese thing, but for some reason we've made it a Korean thing, because that's what we're really good at, Koreans. We're good at making other cultures into ours. I should edit that out. No, fuck that. I don't have time. So the exam's tomorrow. The only reason I'm recording this is because I'm really tired. I'm really tired. I'm not nervous. I'm just tired. I'm tired of everything. I want this to be over. For Christ's sakes. I want this part of my life to be over. I do. And I wasn't able to focus on what I was doing just a few minutes ago. And I just thought, okay, gotta record my breakdowns, because it's a good reminder to me that this is a possible state that I can be in. Now, what are my plans after the exam? Well, I am planning on losing weight. I can finally like go to the gym more regularly than I am doing now. God, what else? I'm sorry, like my head, it's in a weird place right now. Although I'm not nervous, I'm also very fogged up. I haven't jerked off in like the last 4 days, because I want to be in the best state of mind at the exam. And here's the thing, like last year, my biggest mistake was not studying enough. It wasn't that. It was the fact that I jerked off the day before. Now here was my logic back then. I thought that if I jerked off in at 1 o'clock the day before the exam, then I would be able to recover through the evening and while sleeping, and by the time I get to the exam, I'll be totally clear-minded, I'll be totally able to focus on the exam. Turns out that was not true. That was definitely not true. I was fogged up in the head in the morning, and by the time it got to 4 o'clock, and by the time I got to the last subject, I was totally fucked up. So we're not doing that. We're going in on the No Nut November thing, even though it's complete bullshit. I'm just doing it for the exam. After the exam, I'm gonna have the best fucking nut in the history of man. God, what was I trying to say? My plans after the exam: losing weight. That's one thing. Finally, like rearranging the instrumentation for the plus songs that I wrote, and possibly recording them on GarageBand and all that. That would be fun. And I'll be visiting America. I have a friend there. I'll be visiting Kansas, Kansas City to be exact. And I'll probably be there for like 10 days. Meet people, talk to them, get get shunned by all of them, and then returning back home in a really depressed state. That's my plan. God. I promised myself to not make this video longer than 10 minutes because I technically need to go back and study. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. God, I hope this ends with it. God, I really hope this exam ends with this year. Okay, gotta go back into self-torture.